All right. I think we are live now. So in any moment, students should be able to see us. Okay. Let's see. Let's give a few seconds.
While we wait for the students to join,
Right.
I can tell you
Mm.
we had a really good intake this spring
Right.
semester.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. We've been getting really good response. Yeah. For Midwestern, I think we are doing pretty good. Even with the transfer student, it's been really good. Yeah.
Classes started this past Tuesday, and it's
Right.
been a wild dash to get everybody in and
Yeah.
registered.
Right. Yeah.
It's always a challenge for the spring.
Yeah.
We come back from winter break, and
Right.
university has been closed for a while, but
Yes.
we have all of these students from around the world all coming in and
Right.
needing to get set up for the
Yeah.
start of classes just
Hmm.
2 weeks later. So
Yeah.
we're breathing a sigh of relief now that
Right.
we've gotten through the start, but
Yeah.
it's a good challenge to have. We're
Yeah.
thrilled with all of these new students.
Yeah, for even for the application cycle, it's kind of difficult during the spring season. The duration time window is really small, and the visa interview dates, getting the appointment, it's kind of challenging in the spring. Really challenging.
Yeah. Well, um, students from Nepal really were able to get appointments,
Right.
or at least get approved. They may have been originally admitted for fall
Mhm.
of 23, but
Right.
they were able to make it for the spring term.
Right.
So Nepal was our number one source of
Right.
country of students. So,
Right.
and that has not been the case in the past. We've had a lot
Right.
of applicants, but
Right.
not as many students able to enroll. But it was our number one
Hmm.
source of
Yeah.
students.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
We're,
Okay. So I think almost 39 students have joined this webinar. I'm going to ask our students, can you guys hear us? If you can hear us, please write down in the comment section. So this live stream is kind of, right now they can see us on Facebook, different groups. So they're gonna comment in the Facebook and we can see here. Let's see. Yes, so, okay. All right, so I'm gonna get started now. Thank you everyone for joining this webinar. As usual, we're back with the one of our partner university. So in this webinar, we do have Seth from the Midwestern State University. He's gonna be presenting about what Midwestern State University has to offer for the international student. So let's see. Okay, so if you don't know about us, we are International Student Network. We started in 2016 as a Facebook group. Now we have transitioned to the company since our founding in 2022 as a company. We have helped a lot of students from all over the US. And what we usually do is we do help the students for the application process, and like this session, we do conduct different kind of informational session. It's very good, important for the students to know about the different aspects of the studying in the US before they come to here. Even like no matter how you are applying, or either you are applying through the agents or yourself, you should know everything about the US. So we do different kind of informational session. We do help for the visa processing. Once you get your visa, we do help for the travel preparation and pre-arrival orientation. At the same time, we are trying to get involved in the students' life once they are enrolled in the US university. So we are involved with the different student organization like Nepalese student organization. All right. So with that being said, this is our process. Usually, our process starts with the student filling out our form. After that, our team member will reach out to you and move the process forward. So for this webinar, we do have offers. So if you are attending this webinar and if you apply from ISN, we're gonna waive your application fee. So for this application fee, you need to mention in our form. So either is it graduate student or undergraduate student form. You're gonna fill out this form, grad.isnstudy.com for the graduate, uz.isnstudy.com for undergraduate. This form at the end, in this form, there is a question: how did you hear about ISN? You need to put the code ISN24 MSU. So if you put this code, you can get 100% application fee waiver for the all the majors, that including bachelor and master, except for the masters, the computer science and MBA. You're gonna get just 50% waiver. So that means you, for 100% you'll be waived $50, and for 50% you'll be waived $25. So like I said before, we do have Seth from Midwestern State University. It's really great working with him. We do work with different universities, official, and Seth has been really good colleague to work. He's really responsive. He really cares about the student. So it's really good to have him in this webinar. With this being said, I'll pass to the Seth.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And welcome, everyone. Happy Saturday to everybody. Thanks for having me here. Yeah, so I'm from Midwestern State University, or MSU, Texas. This is a picture here of our Hardin Tower and one of our original buildings on campus. We were, yeah, you'll hear the bells ringing around campus when you're at MSU, Texas. So we are located in Wichita Falls, Texas. It's about 1 hour and 45 minutes away from Dallas, Texas, and I'll show you a map here in a second. We were founded in 1922, and recently, within the past couple of years, we joined the Texas Tech University system. And so Texas Tech University is one of the largest universities in the state of Texas. So we are under their umbrella, so to speak, and we are a member institution, and so that's resulted in improved funding. You see a lot of updates around campus. We are a historic campus, a lot of history and tradition, which we're very proud of, but there's also a lot of positive changes going on, reinvestments, especially into science and technology, engineering as well. Business is very popular. So we have about 5,600 students enrolled at this time. We have 7 different academic colleges. 6 of those colleges are undergraduate, and we do have 1 graduate school as well. So I'll talk some about those. Next slide, please. Right, so just quickly, here's a map of Texas, and you'll see in the north central portion, you'll find Dallas and Fort Worth, and that's where the nearest international airport is. But just northwest of the Dallas-Fort Worth area is Wichita Falls. We're a city of about 105,000 people. It's a pretty straightforward drive down to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Dallas is a major city. Millions of people live in the region. Lots of international students have families or friends there. They travel back and forth. But the good thing about Wichita Falls is we have everything that you need: mall, shopping, movie theaters, restaurants. But it's less traffic, less expensive, but you're still close to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So you kind of get the best of both worlds if you want a good university, but a more affordable price, a little quieter environment, perhaps.
Yeah, so I wanted to add, like, I was talking with few transfer students, so a student who complete the associate degree here in Dallas, they were saying they're gonna commute to the Midwestern, to attend the class. So they chose the Midwestern as a quiet town, but they still want to stay in Dallas, so they are planning to do that. So that's kind of amazing to say they are like commuting 2 hours from here.
Yes, we do have students that do that. That's it's quite a commitment to do that multiple times a week. But if you can align your classes where you are only attending maybe 2 days a week, something like that, and have full days on those 2 days a week, then it certainly is more feasible than trying to drive every single day. We have probably more graduate students who are commuting from Dallas, but there are some undergraduate students as well. So, but we'd love to have you stay on campus. I'll talk about some of the benefits of living on campus and housing discounts we have for first year students at MSU Texas as well. Right. So just want to talk about some of our international student organizations. Right now we have 500 international students on campus. That's also a result of our huge incoming class that we just had start this past week. So we're thrilled about that. But we have Caribbean students, Indian Student Association, African students, Nepalese Student Association, and Latin American Student Association as well. So again, students from 55 different countries around the world. We're very welcoming to international students. Our university sees the talent and the unique perspective, the hard work that international students bring, just all the wonderful benefits of this diversity and different cultures, food, music that international students bring. So we celebrate, we welcome, and we want more. Many international students have won awards. I just attended a ceremony a few weeks ago for a new student who joined the Chemistry Honor Society. So anyway, we're proud of those accomplishments and just happy to be a part of your journey to the United States and to MSU. So let's talk about work opportunities. So of course, you're coming to study, but there are benefits to studying in the U.S. on the F1 visa. Some of those can occur while you're a student, and some of those are after you are a student. So the F1 visa guidelines allow students to work on campus up to 20 hours per week. We have many international students working in various departments. That could be in the library, different administrative assistant positions in various departments. We have multiple student workers in our office, 4 that are employed right now, both grad and undergrad. We have a gym or wellness center that employs a lot of students. You could be a tutor. Also, dining and housing services offer employment. So we have different restaurants and cafes on campus. Those all count as on-campus jobs. So you could work at a Starbucks or an Einstein Brothers Bagels, or a Chick-fil-A. These are national chains or international chains, but because you're on campus, you can work at those. And it's not going to pay for all of your living expenses or all of your tuition, but you can make several $100s a month doing this and help lessen your burden or lessen the burden on your family who may be supporting you in your academic journey here. So next, I'd like to talk about CPT, or curricular practical training. Okay, so this is when you are a student, you can register for classes that require an internship. Okay, when you and this internship needs to be related to the curriculum, and thus that's why it's called curricular practical training. But say if you are in our biology program and you get a job or you applied for a class, enrolled in a class where you need lab training, you can work at the city of Wichita Falls in our water treatment facility. You can work at the regional hospital here as a lab scientist. Okay, as long as you apply for a class, you register for a class that requires an internship and is related to your curriculum, you can be approved for CPT. Now, there is a process for this. The good thing is we have a designated school official who is very familiar with this process and applying, and they can kind of guide you through the steps to do this. Also with OPT, I'll talk about that in a moment. Students are eligible though for CPT after a year of study, and you can be paid for this as well. Sometimes these internships are unpaid, sometimes they're paid. It just kind of depends on what you apply for. We have a close relationship with the Chamber of Commerce here in Wichita Falls. And so they recognize it's an organization for businesses located here in Wichita Falls. They recognize, again, the skill set that you as students at MSU have, your international experience, global perspective, and they want you to stay here. They want to hire you. And so years ago, there wasn't this partnership, but we've been developing this. So now students are going to have more opportunities for the internships. And then after they graduate, there's just more of this connection. So we're really proud of that partnership, and we continue to help that grow.
Okay, so Seth, can you please more talk about how a student can use the summer to do like internship, especially like Dallas being so close, and Dallas has a lot of companies. There are uh, a lot of company movies from moving here from all over the country. So can you talk more about that? Like a lot of students want to know like how long the semester lasts and what's the break they're gonna get.
Sure, sure. Yeah, well, that's a great point about Dallas.
Right.
Dallas is one of the fastest growing metropolitan areas in the United States. People are comparing it to what Los Angeles was back in the 80s and 90s. That is what is happening in Dallas right now. It's pretty exciting to be anywhere near Dallas because it's a business friendly place. Businesses from California and the West Coast are expanding in Texas, especially around Dallas, and they're needing workers there, of course. So the main semesters are fall and spring. They're 16 weeks long. We do have 2 summer semesters. Those are approximately 4 weeks long. And so one will basically be in the month of June, one will be in the month of July. So you have really between the fall and spring semester, you'll be out of, if you don't take summer courses, for about 2.5 months, almost 3 months, if depending on when your finals are. So plenty of time to explore. You can take additional courses. Now, especially graduate students are finding, the CPT and OPT opportunities around Dallas, undergrad as well. But really, our MBA students are, when they apply for CPT, that's probably the largest group right now getting those internship opportunities, just because of the really unique skills and abilities that they have in data analytics. But yeah, the companies in Dallas are hiring, and the main thing is, though, if you're going to do an internship, you have to be enrolled in class. Okay, so this is related to the academic calendar. So if you are not studying, you can't, per our guidelines, following the F1 visa requirements, you can't be working unless you're on campus and you're authorized for on-campus work. Now, if you're off campus and you're doing CPT, an internship while you are studying, it just must be during the academic calendar when you are registered for a class with an internship. Now, after you graduate, then you can work every day of the week if you want to. As you're approved for OPT, you're working at a job in your field related to what the degree you just earned, then there's really no limits. You continue to work for 1 to 3 years, and you may find you're sponsored for an employment-based visa after that. But being in Texas, where the population is growing, where jobs are plentiful, is a great place to study because it's generally a warm, mild climate, lower cost of living, and then lots of job opportunities. So there's people from all over the US moving to Texas, and people from all over the world wanting to come and study and live and work, and just wonderful opportunities in the Lone Star State. Okay, so as I alluded to earlier, optional practical training, or OPT, is work authorization for full time. So you're not limited really by classes or time per week. Work as much as you want. So many students are interested in STEM designated degrees because of the increase in OPT authorization. So you can increase your time working after you graduate from 1 to 3 years if you graduate with a STEM degree. So science, technology, engineering, math, we have many STEM degrees. A lot of students will come as an undergraduate. Maybe they're studying a STEM degree, engineering or biology, computer science, graduate in about 4 years, have 3 years of work opportunities, OPT, come back for a graduate degree, study again for another couple of years, and in a STEM degree like computer science or business analytics, geosciences, exercise physiology, and then go back for OPT, apply again for 3 more years. You can easily be in the US for 10 to 12 years if you play your cards right. And then we can talk about the next opportunity. After your student visa time basically expires, after that ends, you've completed all of your degrees, you've exhausted your OPT, that is when you are wanting to find an employer who is willing to sponsor you for an H-1B or an EB-3 visa. These are employment-based visas, which do have a pathway to permanent residency or citizenship in the US. I want to caution everybody though, when you are going for your student visa appointment, you are coming as a student, okay? So emphasize your plans to study, and as a student, your plan is to return. Now, return to your home country. Once you are in the US, you've completed a degree, you started to work, you may find wonderful opportunities afterward. But during the student visa interview, it is incredibly important to show strong ties to your home country, show your plan of study, how you will study in the US and then return home to Nepal. So we know there are different opportunities down the road, but you don't want to discuss those, don't even have those really on your mind at the visa interview for the F1 student visa, because you're coming as a student. Okay. So let's talk about the H-1B. These are, this is the visa you guys are probably most familiar with. A lot of tech workers are sponsored for the H-1B. The good news is if you work for a nonprofit company, a research facility. So in my prior role years ago, before I started working at MSU Texas, I worked for a nonprofit research institution. This was a hospital. We sponsored many physicians on the H-1B visa because there is no cap if you are working for a nonprofit research institution. Now, if you're going to work for Google, fantastic. But Google is a for-profit company. There is a cap on the H-1B amount of approvals. The US government, I think, recognizes some challenges with the H-1B, is working to improve that process, increase the number of people approved on the H-1B for-profit companies. But as a nonprofit, there's no cap. Another visa that is really popular right now is the EB-3 visa. This one is really made for people with super specific skills. Right now, nurses fall into that category. So we have companies that come to our university to connect with our nursing students, that they're trying to recruit them to work at hospitals around the state of Texas and around the US. So we desperately need nurses in the United States. Nurses make a good salary. They're highly respected, and the hospitals here are having a hard time recruiting enough domestic US citizens to fill the nursing role. So the US government recognizes this, and they are allowing hospitals to sponsor hundreds, thousands of international students who are nurses before they even graduate. They are being recruited. Our students are being recruited for these nursing positions. You sign a contract for 3 years. They're going to pay a salary. They're going to pay for your relocation expenses. They're going to offer immigration attorney for you, immigration advising, and sponsor you for this EB-3 visa. After 3 years, you've got permanent residency. Your contract obligations are fulfilled. You can continue working at that hospital, or you can work at a different hospital. But you have your EB-3 visa. And again, this is a pathway to citizenship. It takes about 18 months to get approved for the EB-3 visa, but we have many students who have gone down this path. We have a wonderful nursing program at MSU Texas. So it's been a fantastic opportunity for international students who have a background in science, who want to help people, and want to work in healthcare. So this is something I at a different time I can go deep into these details, but just wanted to give an overview of what's happening with the H-1B, EB-3 visas for students who are on OPT once they complete a degree and then file for optional practical training.
Okay. So I want to focus a point that a lot of the student who has a business background, they don't know about STEM and non-STEM degree. Usually students go to other university for the MBA degree and they don't realize it's non-STEM and they are not qualified for the STEM extension like said before. But the MBA program, you can correct me, Seth, I think it has three different concentration and all of them are STEM designated.
Sure. So yes, we do have a business analytics concentration with our MBA program that is
Right,
STEM designated. So
right,
this approval happened about 2 years ago. Since then, our enrollment has exploded because the MBA program was already popular, but then when we added the STEM designated concentration of business analytics and students saw that they could increase their OPT in the US from 1 to 3 years, boy, the applications came. Um, and so we were already ranked as one of the most affordable and accredited MBAs in the state of Texas. And then we added the STEM designation, and it just lit on fire. So we are again very proud of that. Students have been incredibly successful graduating from this program. Now we do have non-STEM concentrations in the MBA. Now that is energy management and accounting, or you can just do a general MBA. So there are different options, but the most popular is the business analytics because of that STEM designation. But certainly you have the choice to choose whichever one is most appropriate for you.
okay. And is that STEM business analytics, is it fully on in person or is it hybrid program?
Yeah, so we offer both. It's in person. We have in-person classes. We have hybrid and some online as well, fully online. Because of the F1 visa requirements, you are supposed to have some in-person component of your class. So all of them will have some sort of in-person component, but it's very hybrid. A lot of our students will have classes in the evening, or just you meet whenever they need to. But yeah, you're as a graduate student in the MBA program, they're not expecting you to be on campus all the time. You have a lot
Right,
of flexibility there for sure.
right. And at some point, I think you were mentioning even day one CPT might be possible for business analytics major. Is that still true or?
I don't believe we're able to authorize day one. We
Right,
do need to complete. My understanding is students need to have completed at least a year. There
right,
may be some exceptions to that, but
right,
they have to enroll in a class with
right,
an internship required. And if they're
right,
approved for a class with an internship, then CPT may be possible, but typically it's a
right.
little while down the road before they get CPT.
All right, awesome.
Cool. So just some new exciting updates. We're able now to offer scholarships based on high school grade point average. In the past, it was always based on your SAT score. But the SAT score is optional. You don't have to take it, but I still recommend taking the SAT. It can help you earn a larger scholarship and also just offers proof of your admissibility, but it's not required. But I do recommend that students take it. We also offer scholarships if you graduate with an IB diploma, International Baccalaureate degree. Um, in certain countries, I know we've had some in Nepal. In certain parts of the world, you'll see this, more common than others. Um, One thing that we've done is really try to make the admissions process quicker, easier for students. So we allow students to upload unofficial transcripts, like an unofficial English proficiency test score. We have this portal that you basically can take a picture of your transcript, upload it into our portal. We'll make an admission decision in about 2 weeks, sometimes less than that. And we only require official documents when you come to actually enroll in classes. So there's really no obligation to apply because we're waiving the application fee for you. You don't have to pay for an expensive WES evaluation or some third party credential evaluation. We do all the evaluations internally with our own transcript evaluation professionals. And like I said, 1 to 2 weeks. So there's really nothing to lose. We'll see what kind of scholarship you get and help you through the process. I think you're going to find that you have a very supportive global education office that I oversee, people that want to help, that we communicate with you. We're going to do everything that we can to make you successful. And then again, we do have a new central processing center, which has helped speed up the whole admissions process. Other schools, you might be waiting months to get an admission decision, to get a scholarship update. For us, this is a process that takes days or a couple of weeks. You've got your I-20, you're able to apply for your visa interview before the slots fill up, and make sure you get to Texas in August. So really exciting. And the improvements that we've made over the last 1 to 2 years have made the experience much better for international students. So you can talk to Nishal, you can talk with other students now at MSU from Nepal, and I think they will echo my message of support, affordability, great location, good academic programs, and just speed and responsiveness in the admissions process.
Right. So one of the points I wanted to add about taking SAT. So if you are planning to attend any university in Texas, there is a TSI requirement and also the placement test, like for a lot of, especially for engineering degree. So if you don't have certain SAT score before enrolling to class, you might have to take two different tests, one for the TSI, one for the placement. But taking the SAT, that's the benefit. If it is to have certain score, you can get those tests waived. So regardless if you take now or later, you have to take tests. So it's highly encouraged you take the SAT. And like Seth was saying, like the process at AMS has been really easy. Uh, the rules has been changed when you can schedule the interview. Before now there used to be kind of 1 year window period where you can schedule your interview, but there is no, you can there is no time now. You can schedule your interview at any time. So getting your I-20 quick really helps, because they're gonna be, if you wait for the long time, there's gonna be shortage of the interview dates. So it's really, I mean, I think Yamasu is doing really good job issuing I-20 fast.
Quick update, if it's okay with me sharing. We've
Right.
already issued about 50 I-20s to students in Nepal for fall of 24. Right now, we are issuing I-20s. They are booking their visa interviews every
Right.
single day. So there's no need to wait. We are moving forward with fall of 24 right now.
Right. Awesome.
Right. So I want to talk about some of our academic programs. Here's a picture of Centennial Hall. This is the College of Health Sciences and Human Services. This is our newest building on campus, state-of-the-art facilities. When you walk in, you're going to be in awe. It feels like a hospital, and that's really what it's designed to be. This is where our nursing program is located, respiratory care, radiologic science, dental hygiene, exercise physiology. So this is, again, where our Shimadzu School of Radiology is located. So Shimadzu is a radiology company out of Japan. They sponsor our School of Radiology. They provide this state-of-the-art equipment so that when you are training in the College of Health Sciences and you go to your job at a hospital or clinic, any sort of healthcare facility after you graduate, you're going to be ready. You're going to be trained on the same equipment. And hospitals recognize this. They are coming to our campus to recruit you before you even graduate. But our nursing program, as I described earlier, is incredibly popular. The job opportunities after graduation are immense. We have wonderful faculty, state-of-the-art technology, and affordable tuition, all located in this brand new Centennial Hall. Next, we have our College of Business Administration. We're really proud of our accreditation. Only about 5% of business schools in the entire world have the AACSB accreditation. So that means our faculty are highly trained. Many of them have worked in private industry before. Maybe they sold their business and now they're coming to pass on that real world business knowledge in an academic setting to the next generation. So we do have an international business concentration. So as an international business student, you're going to have such a unique perspective. You've lived in Nepal, you've studied in the US, and you kind of have this multicultural background that is really attractive to potential employers. So you can study general business, accounting, economics, management, management information systems. We do have a study abroad program in London as well. I mentioned the international business component. So London is a international business hub. We send about 80 students every summer to London that earn MSU Texas credits, 6 credit hours over the summer that is transferred back to your degree. It's very affordable. And again, it's something that you can put on your resume that will make you very attractive to a potential employer. Again, I mentioned our MBA program and the business analytics concentration. And this is something that is incredibly popular, and we're seeing an explosion in enrollment. Next is our College of Science, Math, and Engineering. Again, these are all the STEM degrees. You see a picture here of a group of mechanical engineering students. They have built this Formula SAE race car. This is the second year in a row they've built it. They travel around the country competing against other universities. One of our engineering students was awarded an internship with General Motors, or GM, one of the largest car manufacturers in the US. So again, this is a rewarding degree to study in mechanical engineering. Great job opportunities. We also have biology, computer science, chemistry, physics, math, geosciences. Up on the top left-hand corner, you see a picture of Bolin Science Hall. This is undergoing a multi-million-dollar, $45 million renovation right now. One of the benefits of us joining the Texas Tech University system is that we were awarded funding to completely overhaul the laboratories, the lecture halls, all brand new facilities now in Bolin Science Hall. So it really is a visual representation of our commitment to STEM degrees. Down in the bottom left hand, you see a picture of one of our engineering labs. Again, just a lot of success stories. We do have a really strong pre-med program as well. And so international students can apply to the medical school at Texas Tech University after graduating with their bachelor's degree at MSU. And so just one more benefit of being in the Texas Tech University system.
Okay. So for the engineering program, what are the master's program under the engineering?
Unfortunately, we do not have a master's program in engineering. Right now, it's just an undergrad program, but we were recently approved to launch an electrical engineering program as well. So that could come in 24. I'm thinking it's probably going to be spring of 2025 before the electrical engineering program is launched. But again, just an expansion of more STEM degrees. We do have a college of education. Both of my parents graduated from Midwestern State University with degrees in education, though. So so students who want to go into education, counseling, school administrators would certainly have a pathway to do that at Midwestern. And we are a college of liberal arts. So basically that means that students will have the opportunity to study a broad range of topics. Even if you're coming to study a STEM degree, you may be taking an art class or a music or language or humanities, things like that. So we do have a College of Fine Arts, College of Humanities and Social Sciences. We want our students to have a broad educational base. There's really an emphasis on critical thinking, teamwork, communication, problem solving. These are all the fundamental tenets of liberal arts. And so you'll really find that throughout your college experience, especially as an undergraduate student. So I want to talk some about the master's degrees. Computer science right now is again incredibly unpopular. It's a STEM degree. Job opportunities abound with a degree in computer science. We are sponsored by NVIDIA, which is a U.S.-based technology company, to host their graphics processing unit education center. We are recognized for our high performance computing. You're going to learn skills in computational science, modeling, computer graphics, gaming, cell phones, cybersecurity. So all of these skills are going to be learned in our computer science program. We do have graduate assistantship opportunities. These are going to pay for almost all of your tuition. I will say they are competitive. So you've got to be organized, you've got to be skilled, talented, highly organized, again, to get one of these positions. But again, the job opportunities are everywhere for a degree in computer science. Now, our MBA program does not require a GRE. Computer science requires a GRE no matter what. MBA program and business analytics does not require GRE if your GPA is a 3.0 or above. Again, we have the AACSB International Accreditation, graduate assistantships available as well. Again, they pay almost all of your tuition. You would really only be required to pay living expenses. As I mentioned earlier, we are ranked the second most affordable and accredited MBA program in the state of Texas. We've got a beautiful campus, affordable tuition, growing international student population, a great place to be for a student from Nepal. I'll dig in just slightly deeper about our MBA program and what happens as a business analytics student specifically. Reason why business analytics is so popular right now and growing is students are learning the unique ability to use statistical tools to gather, analyze, and forecast future business trends. And it's not just one industry. This can be applied to any different type of business model. So companies are finding out that they want to be able to look forward and see, well, where is our demand coming from? Do we have enough in our warehouse to fulfill the orders that we have coming in? Do we have enough workers to build what needs to be built? And using these statistical tools to analyze the past data and then forecast these future business growth or decline, whatever is happening in the industry, will help a business to be more flexible and be better prepared for the economy. So I mentioned earlier about internships. Because of our partnership with the local Chamber of Commerce and local companies, you can be in Wichita Falls. Of course, you've got opportunities in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but we're going to help you to connect with potential employers in the region. So we do have other master's degree programs. Most of them do not require the GRE any longer. They've basically all been waived, and they look mostly at your undergraduate grade point average. So your bachelor's degree, you've taken classes that relate to your master's degree. That's going to help you. If you scored well, that's going to help you. Of course, if you have a low GPA, but you took the GRE and scored well, then that can help you to get admitted, but it's not required for most of our programs. But biology, exercise physiology, health services administration, these are all quickly growing as well. Geosciences, so I'll tell you, geosciences, biology, and exercise physiology, those are all STEM designated, along with business analytics, along with computer science. So very popular with international students. We do have graduate assistantships available and scholarships. So because computer science and business analytics are so popular, the scholarships are more competitive. They only have so much money to go around, and there's a lot of competition for that limited amount of funding. Because geosciences, biology, and exercise physiology are STEM, they're popular, but they're not as big. So competition is lower, but for the scholarship, but you still have the opportunity for great job opportunities, 3 years of OPT once you graduate. So even if you're not interested in business or computer science, I would strongly recommend that you dig into these other academic programs because your skill set, your personal interests may align more with exercise physiology. You want to be in healthcare, you want a STEM degree, that could be a great fit, especially if you like sports, that sort of thing. And tell you guys, we will have a cricket match, big cricket tournament coming up in the spring as well. So fun things, we want to keep you active, keep you healthy, while connecting with students. And so a lot of our exercise physiology students are out there. It's quite a fun day.
Right. So, Seth, I wanted to ask you for the computer science admission, is it a minimum GRE score required, or is it more holistic? They look into different things.
That's a great question, Michelle, and it's holistic.
Right.
They're going to look, yes, the GRE is one of the components used to analyze admission, but they're also looking at how did you, even if you don't have a computer science background, you can still be admitted into the computer science program. We have engineering students get admitted, math students. If you've shown that you can succeed at upper level college, university level math, you can be admitted into the computer science program. The challenge is if people have not done well in computer science courses, not done well in any math or engineering courses, and then they have an average GRE, they're not going to be admitted. It's a competitive, challenging program, and we want you to be successful. So we want to see that at the undergrad level, you have taken some challenging courses, even if it's not computer sciences, even if it's just other math related courses. If you have scored well in those, we see the potential for you to be successful. But yeah, it's a holistic approach of your undergraduate degree, what courses you took, how you scored. If you have a lot of backlogs, that can be kind of a red flag. If you've taken the classes multiple times, it's okay if you retake a class, but if you take it a second time, you better score really well. Don't take it a second time and then still just do average. You want to score well on your second time, and then to complement that with a strong GRE, you have a great chance of admission.
Awesome.
So just want to quickly touch on English language requirements. We accept TOEFL, Duolingo, IELTS, ITEP, PTE. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Duolingo. It's easy to take online, quick results. It's less expensive. Just need 100 to meet admission requirements. And you can see 79 on TOEFL, 6.0 on IELTS. So kind of standard with that, but yeah, if you have any questions about those, I'm happy to discuss.
Yeah, I think Duolingo is really easy, cheap, and one of the benefit is if you take, let's say, TOEFL or other tests, there might be some cost for the testing agency to send your score directly to university, but Duolingo does that for free, and it's really quick. So it's for the students, anyone applying for the US, I think Duolingo is the way to go for the proficiency test. Yeah.
So as I mentioned earlier, I work in the Global Education Office. I oversee international student recruitment and support. So what we do as an office is help you through the application and admissions process. We support you once you're here on campus. We are an advocate for international students. We advise international student organizations. We offer immigration support. So we're going to be the ones that issue your Form I-20, kind of help you create your immigration record, your SEVIS record. We offer guidance and kind of visa interview prep. I know ISN probably has that service as well and can give information. We also do that. So we partner together closely to make sure you have the highest chance of visa approval. And then we also support our students who study abroad. I mentioned London, but we also have 4 other locations for 5 total locations around the world where you can study as an MSU Texas student, earn credit toward your degree, but still be able to travel. So that's a super fun way to build your resume and get different types of experiences.
I see a picture. I wonder what's the mascot for the MSU Texas.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Oh, I think the mascot for the MSU Texas was Mustang.
Yes, Mustangs. Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Go Mustangs. Let me see. Great. So we have a really nice new residential hall that's called Legacy Hall. You'll see it pictured down here. They really focus on living and learning opportunities. You know, the philosophy years ago was everybody go to the library to study. While we still have tutoring and study halls and a great place to read and work with your classmates, there's also a renewed emphasis on being able to study comfortably where you live. And so we have more computer labs, study halls in the new Legacy Hall living facility. So just a new kind of concept. I do want to tell you that while Legacy Hall is new and very nice, we do have more affordable options. If you stay in Killingsworth Hall your first year, you're going to receive about a 50% discount on your meal plan and housing your first year. So it's a great way to save money, super convenient, comfortable. You walk downstairs, walk across the pathway where there's a dining hall, you have breakfast, and you save a lot of money. And then after that, we have got apartments that you can live at on campus. You can move to a different residential facility, move off campus if you want. But I highly recommend that at least your first year, stay on campus at Killingsworth Hall, but then look at the other opportunities as well.
Okay, so a lot of time student asks us, I know a lot of university in Texas are, especially in the rural area, are residential campus where students are required to live on campus first year, or if they are, let's say, younger than 21 or 20, is the MSU same way, or is it more kind of optional?
Yeah. So our published requirement is that students are required to live on campus. I would say that is loosely enforced. They're strongly encouraged, but students are not going to be dropped from classes if they don't live on campus. That's not happening. So we have freshmen who live off campus. I want students to live on campus for that support. They're more engaged in the resources, more close to activities and everything that's happening. But they don't have to live on campus. They do have that option. One of the benefits of living on campus is that it is safe, it's secure, it's located in one of the most beautiful parts of our city. I live 2 blocks from campus. As I step outside, I can hear the bells ringing. I can see the campus when I look down the street because it's in such a nice area. I love the neighborhood. My family, friends all live nearby. My daughter goes to school right down the street. She's in 2nd grade. She's 8 years old. But it's quiet. It's safe. We have a police agency that's available 24 hours a day. We also have a free bus system that gets you around the city. So we've got a mall that's nearby. You can walk there in about 10 minutes, or you can take the bus. There's movie theaters, restaurants, shopping. As I mentioned earlier, we're a city of just over 100,000 people. So we're not a huge city like Kathmandu with millions and millions of people, but we're not a small village either. We're a mid-sized city that has what you need. It's quiet, it's safe, it's more affordable, less traffic. But we've got Dallas, a 2-hour drive away, with, again, millions of people, lots going on. So a lot of students will go to Dallas on the weekend, or breaks from school. They've got family, they've got friends. So again, it's in a nice location that's very safe.
Right. So student population is growing in MSU Texas. Are you guys planning to provide maybe pickup service for like one day a semester, or are you guys already doing, if they let's land in Dallas, pick up to the campus?
Yeah, great question. So every semester before classes start, we send buses down 2, 3, or 4 days before the semester starts to pick up students for free, bring them back to campus. So yes, that is a service that we provide. So before classes start, I'll send out communication of, hey, these are going to be the days that we'll be picking up students in our bus. Schedule your flights to land on these days, and we will pick you up and bring you back, help you get settled in. We take you to the bank to get your account account set up. We used to take students to get a cell phone started up, but now we partnered with Mint Mobile, which is a providing SIM cards for free. So now when students arrive, we pick them up from the airport. We bring them to campus. We give them their SIM card so they can start, and they get free service for a month. So a lot of benefits, and we don't want you to worry about all the different things. We know it's stressful to travel around the world, come to the US to study. We want to eliminate as much of the complication and challenge as possible. And so making sure that you've got a comfortable place to live, make sure that you've got transportation taken care of, a cell phone, bank service, all of those things takes a lot of the worry down, and you can focus on your studies and really be successful and earn good grades. So again, we're known as being a very affordable university, affordable living expenses in the city of Wichita Falls. Because we are partnering with ISN, we're able to guarantee a discounted tuition rate. It's called Tier 2. This is about a 40% discount from the published online rate for non-US residents. So if you go to the business office page, you're going to see international student tuition of about $23,000 to $24,000 per year. Okay, when you work with Nishal and ISN, we're gonna see that you're referred through this special partnership that we have. You're going to automatically receive a Tier 2 discounted tuition rate. It's about $14,000 per year. We also offer a scholarship of about $500. Sometimes that's up to $1,000. It just depends on how much funding we have. If you live on campus in our discounted housing, it's about $6,000 your first year. So for a total that you need to show on your bank statement is about $26,000. Of course, if you can show more than that, you can show multiple years of funding. That is going to improve your chances of visa approval. So consider that as you get prepared to apply for your F1 visa. But if you are a strong student, you earn a competitive scholarship of $1,000 or more. That's based on your SAT score. That's based on your grade point average or other factors. You can earn the in-state tuition rate. The state of Texas allows us to offer the same tuition rate to international students as Texas residents receive. This is a wonderful benefit. So it's going to save you about $3,000 per year if you can earn a competitive scholarship of $1,000. So instead of $26,000, you're going to pay around $21,000 to $22,000 per year. This is everything included. This is tuition and fees, student health insurance, books, all living expenses. So an incredible value. You're not going to find many other universities that are offering this sort of total package for $21,000 to $22,000. And when you combine that with the strong academic program, strong support, and welcoming environment for international students, I think you're going to find a great home and a great fit at MSU Texas.
Okay, so one of the things I wanted to focus that students should know is a lot of time when you see the I-20, a lot of university list their estimated tuition fees based on 12 credit hour. That's like a minimum required by rule. But if you want to graduate in 4 year, or if you get any kind of a scholarship, usually university require you to take 15 credit hour. So once you come here, register for 15 credit hour, you may have to pay more than what's listed in I-20. But in case of MSU, it's not going to differ a lot because this estimated cost is based on the 15 credit hour. And next thing is, in this cost, there is like direct cost and indirect cost. So direct cost is something that you need to pay directly to university. Let's say if you stay on campus, you need to pay the living expenses, housing, and food to university. Let's say if you stay off campus, your direct cost would be tuition fees and health insurance. You don't need to pay, let's say, living costs, even books and even the books you don't need to pay to campus. it's more like course specific. Sometimes you have to buy online subscription, or a lot of time you can get the books. Even the library have a lot of books, or they have interlibrary program. I think MSU might have same program where they can get the books from the different libraries. So uh, if you are, let's say, planning for the budget, you need to more focus on the direct cost. Indirect cost is also important, but direct cost is the one you need to most worried about or most planning for. Is that right, Seth?
That's a great description,
Right,
because in that category, other, that
right,
includes just an emergency fund. We
right,
and indirect costs. You're not paying the university all of this money. Health
right,
insurance is the only direct cost out of the other. It's about
right,
$2,700 per year.
right,
The rest of that budget of $5,600 is, well, you may need to buy a winter coat, or you need boots or
right,
something like that. We just want you to have a little extra money available, but there's no guarantee that you're going to spend that. You may not.
right.
It's just an estimate. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I was talking with some of the current student at MSC Texas, and they were saying like even like health insurance, if you want, you can buy from outside, which needs to be kind of equivalent to MSC Texas. In that case, you don't need to buy the insurance plan from the university. Is that correct?
That is correct. If you can find a comparable plan that's
Right.
less expensive, you
Right.
can opt out of the MSU Texas insurance. We have a document on our website that lists the certain requirements that your insurance needs to meet. If your insurance meets those, then you can waive this MSU Texas health insurance.
Right. Yeah. Even if you buy campus insurance, I think a lot of, especially Texas University has campus insurance around $3,000, but MSC has around $2,000. So it's kind of cheaper in compared with other campuses as well. Okay. Okay. So one more thing, I think students are really like confused about competitive scholarship. So for this one, this is kind of the how I understand is competitive scholar is something that is open to all the students, not the specific group of students. So it does not necessarily mean the scholarship is super competitive. You need to submit the essay, interview. It's not like that. Most of the time, it needs to be open by the usually by financial aid department to every student. Is that right, Seth?
Great point. Yes,
Right,
that's exactly right. Our scholarship process is super easy. All
right,
you need to do is submit an SAT score, and we can award you a scholarship. Or if you don't submit an SAT score, then we're going to look at your grade point average. And for an undergraduate student, as soon as you are admitted, we automatically review you for a scholarship and send it out within a few days. Okay.
right,
That, if you are awarded a scholarship of $1,000 or more, then you are eligible for the in-state tuition rate. We call it competitive because it must be available to both domestic and international students. My Global Education Office scholarship, I just give it to new students to help them their first year. It's not competitive. It's not available for domestic students, so that cannot qualify you for the in-state tuition rate. But a scholarship based on your academic merit, that is competitive. You have done something to earn it, and that qualifies you for the in-state rate. But the good news is there's no separate application. Like Nishal said, you don't have to worry about an essay or interview or anything like that. Super easy to get a scholarship if you meet the criteria upon admission. Okay. So just want to give the same kind of breakdown for graduate tuition for like a master's in computer science or business analytics. The special discounted rate is just under $10,000 per year. So again, automatically going to receive this. You can earn a scholarship and get the in-state tuition rate. I mentioned earlier about the graduate assistantship programs. Those pay about $8,000 minimum. Some of them are up to $10,000. If you are awarded a GA position, graduate assistantship, it's going to pay for almost all of your tuition. Okay, so you're only going to be responsible for living expenses. So to get the I-20, you're going to need to show about $21,000 to $22,000 in a bank account. Again, if you can show more than that, that's going to improve your chances of visa approval. But It's not required to show more, but again, this is why we're consistently ranked as one of the most affordable MBA programs, is because of our really reasonable tuition and fees. And because you're coming through ISN referral, part of this webinar, you're automatically going to get this discounted tuition rate, which is a huge reduction compared to about $15,000 is what you're going to see online for non-US residents.
Right. So for the GA part, is it automatic or student need to contact their department? How does that work?
Great. So after admission, the department sends an email with information on how to apply for a scholarship, how to apply for the GA position, and then you submit your application. And so for this fall, they'll start to send out that information in March and April to admitted students. So we're already admitting students for fall. We just started this week for the graduate programs. We've been admitting undergraduate students for several weeks, but now we just started admitting graduate students. So you're getting your acceptance letter this week, perhaps. Maybe you got it yesterday or Thursday. And you're submitting bank statements. You're getting your I-20. You may be booking your visa interview for May or June or July at this point. And then in March, you'll receive your scholarship application, your GA application from your department. You may get a scholarship. At that point, you can send that to our office. Say, look, I was awarded a scholarship. I would like to get the in-state tuition rate. Can I have my I-20 updated? We will send you a new I-20 that shows an increase in your scholarship. So you've got your scholarship award letter, you've got it noted on your I-20. So when you go to your interview in June or July, you will have this additional support to show the visa officer. So just other things that we do to try and help. We're always happy to make adjustments to show any new scholarship funding on your I-20.
Awesome.
So the scholarship opportunities for undergrad are listed here. Again, SAT is going to get you the largest amount of scholarship, but a strong grade point average can get you funding as well. The main point I want to mention is you need to earn $1,000 in competitive scholarship to be eligible for the in-state tuition rate. That saves you an additional $3,000. So you may earn a $1,500 scholarship. That's fantastic, but it's really larger than that because it's going to allow you to get the in-state tuition rate of $3,000 savings. So combine those, then you're at $4,500. Then you get the Global Education Office scholarship of $500. Well, now you're up to $5,000 overall. So you start at one level and continue to drop based on your academic merit. I do want to mention as transfer students, we have a lot of students that will go to maybe a community college like Dallas College and then transfer over. Those students are eligible for scholarships with a grade point average of 3.0 or higher on a 4.0 scale. That can help you to be eligible for the in-state tuition rate. We have an honors program. So students with an SAT score of 1,200 or higher are eligible for the honors program. They give scholarships up to $4,000 per year. And then after you've completed a semester or two, you can apply for a departmental scholarship. So maybe you're studying biology or you're studying nursing, you're earning good grades. So you have scholarships as a brand new student from the admissions office, and then departmental scholarships for returning students. Like you've completed a semester, you've completed a year of studies, and you're coming back for your second year. You can apply for scholarships there. Again, graduate students do have $1,000 scholarship opportunities, and then the graduate assistantship positions as well.
Okay, so we sometimes usually have students that have completed 3 years of bachelor, or like someone is studying in the university. We usually encourage them to apply as a transfer. The reason being, if when you apply for the master, especially for computer science, regardless which university you apply, it's kind of competitive. But if you apply as a transfer, it's kind of easy to get the admission. And like Seth was saying, if you do have minimum 3.0 GPA, you'll automatically receive $1,500. That will make eligible for the institution rate. I think that's really great. So if you are someone who is studying in the university right now, or even with the 3-year bachelor degree, you may want to consider MSU for the transfer admission.
Yeah. One thing I will point out super quick, because I get questions about this, is
Right.
what it takes to be admitted into the graduate school. I have students will say, I have a 3-year diploma. Am I eligible for graduate school? Maybe, maybe not. We're going to evaluate your transcript and determine how many credit hours you completed. Your 3-year degree needs to be equivalent to a U.S. bachelor's degree that typically takes 4 years. So, but you may complete your bachelor's degree in 3 years. As long as you have 120 credit hours or more, we consider your degree equivalent to a U.S. bachelor's degree, and then you're eligible for graduate school.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, there's our website. At MSU Texas, again, I mentioned it before, as a liberal arts college, we want a well-rounded student that has experience in a lot of different academic areas. You're going to get a great education. You're going to get it at an affordable price, an environment that's supportive, encouraging, and wants you to be here. So I'd love to see you here in Texas. We just had another record-breaking enrollment this past week. We're proud of that, and we're ready to break another record this fall, and hope you can be a part of that.
Right.
Yeah, just a few pictures of campus. We were ranked the #1 most beautiful campus in Texas by a website called travel.com. So we're known for our red brick buildings with the red tile roof, historic campus. Like I said, we've been around for over 100 years. We're proud of the history and tradition, but we're excited about the growth. We're excited about our future, and would love you to be a part of that as well.
All right. Thanks a lot, Seth. That was really helpful. They're very informational. So, like I said before, if you want to get the application fee waiver, you need to fill out our form at grad.isministry.com. Make sure you mention the code that I mentioned before. For the bachelor or the undergraduate, you need to fill out uz.isministry.com. And thanks everyone for the attending this webinar. We'll bring similar webinar in the future as well. And I will take some of the questions. A lot of questions are regarding the SAT, scholarship, cost of attendance. I think you have already mentioned those. But what we're going to do is we're going to post the picture, the flyer in our social media pages where you can see about the cost of attendance, all the scholarship that they offer. I think a lot of these are already covered in the webinar. Let's see. Okay, so what's the deadline to submit the SAT score for the undergraduate scholarship?
The posted deadline is March 1st for fall.
Right. Okay.
Last year, we did end up extending that deadline for about a month. There's no guarantee that I'll be able to do that again this year, but I will try. And if I see that you're coming through ISN, I am going to do everything I can to make sure that we're able to award you a scholarship if you meet the criteria. But you need to be admitted by March 1st. And if your SAT comes in slightly behind that, we may have some flexibility. I can't guarantee that, but I do know that we did offer that last year. So something to keep in mind.
Right, right. So does the MSU consider super score for SAT? Some of the students take multiple time. So does yeah.
Yeah, if you submit a higher score your second time, yes, we will absolutely consider that score.
Okay. All right. Awesome. One of the, I think, student has asked about the pharmacy program. Does MSU has pre-pharmacy program or any pathway to that?
We do have a pre-pharmacy track. So
Right.
typically you're kind of similar to a biology degree, but you'll have special advisor, and then you can apply for pharmacy school at Texas Tech University. And because you're in the system, the Texas Tech University system at MSU, then you have an advantage when applying to law school, applying to pharmacy school, veterinary school, because you're already a part of the system. Your application is guaranteed to be reviewed, guaranteed an interview. I cannot guarantee you admission into pharmacy school, but I can guarantee that basically you're going to jump to the front of the line and have a greater chance than somebody coming from a different non-member institution.
Okay, awesome. All right, I think one of the questions students have asked for the English proficiency test score. Does the score for the like a sub score for the each section matter, or does the university look overall score?
We only consider the overall score.
Okay, all right, awesome. I think those all are the questions. All rest of the questions are covered in the webinar. You can watch the recorded version of the webinar in our social media page. And once again, if you would like to apply to MSU Texas, you need to fill out our form. For the graduate, you need to fill out grad.isnstudy.com and mention this code ISN24MSU in the last portion. How did you learn about ISN? And for the bachelor's, you need to fill out uz.isnstudy.com. I think that's all for now. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Seth. It was really good session. Hopefully, we're going to invite you in the future as well for the future students. It was really nice talking with you, and it was really helpful. And thank you, everyone. It's kind of night in Nepal, so good night, everyone.
Thank you, Nishal. Thank you, everybody. Nice presenting. Take care.
All right.